Love your neighbor as yourself. It's a so-called golden rule found in one form or another in every religion and culture in the world. For example, in Confucianism, it says, do not do to others what you would not like others to do to you. In Buddhism, hurt not others in ways that you yourself would find hurtful. In Islam, no one of you is a believer until he desires for his brothers that which he desires for himself. Now, if this golden rule was already so well known in ancient cultures, is there anything new in Jesus' teaching? Yes, there is. The golden rule is understood differently in different religions and cultures. And the key to its understanding lies in the question that the lawyer asked Jesus, who is my neighbor? Who is my neighbor that I have an obligation to love? Among the Jews in Jesus' time, there were those who understood neighbor in a very limited sense. For example, we have this group called the Essence. The new members are required to swear to love the children of the light and to hate the children of darkness. So for them, your neighbor is the one who shares the same religion as yourself. And then we have another group called the Zealots. They would understand neighbor as only those who share the same nationality or ethnicity with them. And the average Jews would not regard the Samaritan as a neighbor. They were outsiders. They despised them. The circle of neighborly love does not include them. So now, what is new in Jesus' teaching of neighborly love is this, that all humanity is one big neighborhood. Thus, Jesus broke down the walls of division. He broke down the borders of prejudice, distrust, suspicion, intolerance, and hatred that humans erected between us and them, caused by differences in race and religion, or by social and economic gap. And to bring home this point, Jesus tells the story of the Good Samaritan. This man, regarded as an enemy by the Jewish establishment simply because he is a Samaritan, is the one who finally proves himself to be neighbor to the Jewish man in need. Thus, to the question, who is my neighbor? Jesus' answer is simple and clear, crystal clear. Anyone and everyone in need is our neighbor and is worthy of our love, care, and help. A neighbor is not simply one who lives next door. Our neighbors are not only those people who belong to our family and community. Our neighbors are not only those people who are kind and good to us. any man who is in need is our neighbor. So the heart of real faith and real worship lies in how we live our love of God in our concrete expression of love of neighbor. The commandment of the love of God and the commandment of the love of neighbor is the only supreme criterion of holiness. And the love of God and the love of neighbor are inseparable. So the lawyer in our gospel story has no difficulty in recognizing the Samaritan who acted with compassion as the one who loved his neighbor. And like him, all of us are challenged by Jesus to follow the good example of the Samaritan. And he says, go and do the same. Let's be good neighbor to one another. Who is my neighbor? Anyone and everyone in need is our neighbor and is worthy of our love, care, and help. We have a heart for God when we have a heart for the needy.